As far as historical background issues, Native Americans faced a disrespect of land, religious discrimination, which included denial of practice and access to religious places of practice, as well as the prohibition of religious artifacts. And American Indians were often denied unemployment benefits as the government had no desire in passing laws to protect them, and that was in 1991. And there were also mockery through school mascots, using Indian Native Americans as a depiction for the school.
In 1817, Cherokee became the first Native Americans recognized as citizens. The interstate highway system was disrupting Native land. The longest walk was a spiritual walk to support tribal sovereignty. The Trail of Tears made in the 1830s, Cherokee was forced to give up their lands east of the Mississippi River and migrate to Oklahoma. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 caused many Native Americans to die of disease and starvation. The federal government wanted to remove the 5 civilized tribes from the South. In the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924, natives did not have to give up being native to be a citizen and can vote because at the time voting was governed by the state. In 1948, the Supreme Court of Arizona gained the right to vote but had to prove they could not read and write in English. In the 1960s, the National Indian Education Association was formed to fight for equal education.
Organization dedicated to advocating for culture, political, and economic rights for Indigenous people. The third person was Eloise Cobell. She was a part of the Blackfeet tribe. She was a longtime champion of Indian rights, dedicated the last 16 years of her life to obtaining justice for Native Americans. The last person is John Salter. He was a St. Francis Abenaki. He was very active in Jackson, Mississippi, and on May 28, 1963, he began sit-ins at the white-only lunch counter in downtown Jackson. He was beaten and doused with food. He still continues to advocate for civil rights for all people.
Today, Native Americans still face many issues. Similar to the Black Lives Matter campaign, they have launched the Native Lives Matter to combat the negative stereotypes and prejudice they still face today. They still face mass incarceration, and although they only make up 1% of the population, they make up 2% of all police killings. For example, Native Hawaiians make up 10% of the state population, but 38% of the incarcerated population. They still have land being taken away for corporate gain, and they have high suicide rates, high poverty rates, and unemployment. And in many places, the nearest polling places are 100 miles away. So they still continue to fight the stereotypes and and cultural appropriation.